Welcome back, guys. In the previous lectures we made many simple program using procedure oriented programming, but now we are dealing with the object oriented programming. So just before that, we must want to know that the C++ is the procedure oriented programming as well as the object oriented programming language. But to deal with the object oriented programming language, we must want familiar with the object and the class. In this today's lecture, we'll able to know that what are the object, what is the purpose of the object, and what is the purpose of the class. So just see now this. Okay, now class is what? Class is what? According to the book reference, the class is the collection of the related data and the function. Okay, according to the book, the class is what? The class is having the related data and the functions. Okay, now whenever the object is what? Object, we can call object as the real world entity, or according to the book reference, it is the variable of type class. Okay, which stores some data. No, class stores some data. Okay, sorry, clear the screen now. To understand the concept of the class, we must want to clear the concept, so that we just take an example. Now just take an example. Suppose this is the person 1 and this is the person 2. How can you differentiate these two person? Okay, I am saying that how can you differentiate these two person, the person 1 and person 2? How can you differentiate? Of course, with their properties which are common to these persons, like hair color, body weight, height, and many more things that the persons can have common, like hairs, nose, eye color, beards, walking style, sleeping style, etc., etc., are the common properties that the persons have, but the person is unique. Okay, now how can you differentiate with them? Just see this now. Properties like the hair color and weight and sleeping. Okay, properties like hair color, weight, and sleeping can differentiate these two persons. Okay, now we can differentiate these two persons with their hair color, sorry, I choose the wrong one. Okay, now with the hair color, weight, it means it is thin and it is very fat. Okay, now we can differentiate this two persons with the hair color, sleeping, and actions like walking, sleeping, etc., etc. Then these properties can be stored in the person, in the class. This is the main purpose of the class, to store some related data and the functions like the sleeping. Okay, now just see this. How is the syntax? Okay, just now see this class person. In the class person class, we'll discuss about the class person and many more things. Here are some functions or the arguments. We can say that these are the arguments. Okay, now in the class we store these properties. Okay, in the class name person, we can here store some properties. Okay, now just I think you know the concept of the class. Okay, now class is what? In short, the class is what? The class is who stores the data for the object. Okay, the class is who stores the data of the object. Okay, then you will ask me the questions like, how can you differentiate the hair color, weight, and sleeping? Because the person is the unique. The person is the unique there, so we can differentiate it with their hair color, weight, and height, and sleeping style, etc., etc. these functions are common in them, but the things like his color, his hair colors like a blue, pink, and his hair colors like a pinkish. Okay, now these are the common factors, but they can different. Okay, this is an example of the class. I hope you will understand this. Now we'll discuss about the object. Okay, object. As I said earlier, that object is called a variable of the class type. Okay, type class. Okay, now what? We can say that object is the variable of the class type. No, we can say that the object is the variable of the type class. So we clear this with an example. No, I has been discussed earlier that about this. Now if we want to make an object of the class, then we can make it as person p, as earlier we discussed this. Now person, I hope you will understand this. This is a person, and here are some arguments or the functions that are the properties of the persons. Now this is the person, which is the class. Okay, now, and this is the variable. Okay, this is the variable b variable. Okay, now here, just like int, here is a person, and just like a, here is a p. But how is this possible? I just want to clear this, that p and a are both are the variables. Okay, p and a both are the variables, and the person is a int is a type, and person is also a type. But how? Person is a class type variable. Sorry, int is a data type, and the person is a class type. Okay, now we can say that object, this is the class. Object is a variable of type class, just like an int. Int is also a type, and a is a variable. A is just like p, and int is just like. Hello guys, now see the example of the object oriented object and class. First of all, I'll create here an object and class.cpp as a file name. Okay, cpp as a file name. First of all, just include some header files as hash include stream, then using namespace std, then make a class as person, and then in this just declare some int type data type variables as int weight, character, data type as hair color, I'll give her as a 50. And okay, now usually we declare a function in a public mode that we can access it at a int main section. Okay, just for that I'll give here making a function as get data. Okay, sorry, get data, and say out, enter your weight. Okay, read the data as weight. Enter your hair color. Okay, read this now as hair color. Now void this data, and just making here some functions to store and display some data that we has been entered in the get data, so that weight is equal to display this now as weight. Okay, now see out hair color is equal to hair color. Okay, now in the int main we must wanna make a person and variable object as p. Okay, now semicolon, then p dot get data and p dot this data. Okay, now return the value as 0 as we are taking a int. Okay, just now say this to the program as here. I'll comment here all the things if you are seeing my first video, as these are the header files. Person is a class name, and person is a class name, and p is a variable of the type class, as we discussed earlier. Okay, now just see this again program, and we will now first of all save this program now. Okay, and then run it and see. Enter your weight about 10 and hair color pink, weight